This is Low Growl, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the big trip that we took with the young men in the mentorship program, and just kind of give you just some highlights of how the trip went and how meaningful it was to me and just my future plans with mentorship and what I have going on, okay? I'm going to be doing some tapping on some objects and things just to make it interesting, add a little bit of dynamics to it, add a little bit of texture to it. Nothing too much, nothing too distracting, just a little something to add to it while I have this conversation with you. So let's just sit back and behave as if we're just in the same room. You're having some coffee, you're relaxing, just whatever it takes. Take a deep breath, do whatever you need to do, but get relaxed and let's proceed, okay? Now, the big trip. Every year, we take the boys on a trip to somewhere. I'm not going to say extravagant, but for them it's extravagant because the boys we deal with are guys that are typically from a rougher background, meaning they live in rough neighborhoods, or their home life isn't stable, or the school they go to is underperforming, just underserved communities and stuff. That's the majority of the boys we deal with. Now, we do I won't even say the majority, but there's a percentage that come from that side. Then in the middle, you have some more of the more average kids that, they may be in single parent homes, they may not be, they may have both parents, they may not have both parents, but they behave well, they make pretty good grades, and they're getting a lot out of the program. Then on the other end of the spectrum, higher up, you have those that make great grades, they're doing some tremendous things, and they have really put in the work, and they have great opportunities waiting for them. So we deal with a whole spectrum of young men. It's about 50 of them. So we have about 50 boys we deal with. And for this big trip, this year's destination was Washington, D.C. for the National African American Museum. And afterwards, the next day, we were going to take them to the Washington Wizards game. In preparation for the trip, of course, we looked at the weather, and it was freezing. We told them, hey, it's projected to feel like -9 degrees in DC this weekend, so make sure you bundle up, bring your coat, and dress appropriately. The morning of the trip, when we were getting ready to leave, the guys started arriving. I started noticing a trend. You may say, "Oh, bro, what was this trend that you were noticing?" These suckers would not come in with coats. They came in the standard, the standard hood uniform. That's what I'm gonna call it. Some of y'all may know what the standard hood uniform is. Some of you may not. But for those that don't, the standard hood uniform is a black hoodie with black skinny jeans or sweatpants, headphones, and your choice of sneaker. A book bag is also a normal standard of this outfit type. But none of these guys came with coats, and we told them, hey, it's going to feel like -9 degrees up here. Be prepared. 2 out of 35 boys arrived with no coat, and I started questioning these guys. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? Where's your coat at? Oh, I don't got no coat. But I got some thermal pants on under this. Or I put on 2 t-shirts under this. And I just kind of shook my head, appalled by the ignorance. Sometimes style just means more than comfort, And I'm just thinking ahead, saying to myself, man, when we get outside up here, we got to walk from the vehicles to the museum. These guys, they ain't going to be no more good. So we assemble, say a prayer before we leave, and then vehicle assignments, right? Rented a couple of vehicles, and then we got a couple of vehicles that the group owns. And I was thinking to myself, it's one van in particular, very old looking van. It's not old looking, this van is old. And I was like, ain't no way we're going to take that van, right? Ain't no way. So then they start giving out vehicle assignments, and it's like, all right, you and y'all gonna drive this rental truck. You and you Y'all gonna drive the silver van, and the silver van we own, but it's newer, it's nicer. All right, y'all get the silver van. I'm gonna take this SUV I rented, and then they pointed to me and the guy that I was gonna be riding with or driving with. Y'all get Big Blue, and my heart sank because I'm like, is this thing road ready? Like, this thing is so old. Can this thing handle the trip? And I was just like, it was just something in the back of my mind that said, I'm gonna be driving Big Blue. So when it was told that I'll be driving Big Blue, me and my cohort looked at each other and we're just like shaking our heads, like, of all the dumb luck. Now, the guy I'm riding with is the founder's son, so I'm thinking surely we will have a nicer vehicle. But nope, we got the seemingly dud of the group. So we start up, get on the road. We're on the road. While we're driving, we start hearing noises. We look at each other, shake our head a little bit. It was like, oh brother, here we go. Had to make one stop for the bathroom and another stop for gas, and we heard some more noises. He and I looked at each other. Oh boy, here we go. Get back on the road. The wind was crazy. It was so crazy. We couldn't even drive over like 50 miles an hour because the thing just started moving so violently. It was scary. I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't take a nap. I just kept checking my man. I'm like, hey, you good to go? You good to drive? Because I've done a ton of long distance driving on family trips and things like that. But I was just on standby ready in case his nerves cracked and he didn't feel like he could make it. But we ended up making it to these very nice Airbnb mansions that we rented out. Maybe mansion is a bit excessive, but these things had like 3 floors, like huge places with like the bathrooms. I'm talking, these places have bidets in them. The ceiling of the bathroom had murals. It was a really nice place. We actually looked online to see how much this place was going for, and it was a $9 million home. But again, it's about exposing the boys and giving them other experiences to hopefully influence them in a way that they begin to aspire to more. Like, you don't got to be rich, but there's better out there than what you've seen. And if you take hold of the opportunities that we are presenting to you, then you can take advantage of some of these things and hopefully build up your lifestyle and accomplish some things where you can have the nicer things in life. All right, now we're tapping on my Lion King cards. Yeah, beautiful. I haven't even played a game of cards with this deck yet. They just looked so nice when I seen them. Back to the story. We get to the place. There's instructions to get in, so we tell the boys, hey, y'all stay put. We're gonna go inside, make sure everything's on the up and up, and then we'll come back and get you. Certainly, we went in the house first so that we could claim the rooms we desired. After this long trip and listening to the jibber jabber going on in the back seats before they fell asleep, we wanted to get first pick on these rooms. So we went through the place just admiring it, and we eventually picked out what rooms we would have. Then we went down and we retrieved the boys and, brought them in. And then one of the boys came to me and was like, hey, Mr. B, you picked what room you wanted first, didn't you? That's why I made us wait in the van. I was like, nah, man. There were certain instructions that we had to go by. It was a sheet. They gave us like a little step-by-step thing we had to do to get into the house before we brought y'all in. But he had me dead to rights. He knew what time it was. All right, now we fast forward to the trip to the African American Museum. This is happening, I think it was the next morning or something like that. Either way, I don't know why I got all confused about the timing of it, but African American is the next step. We tell them, hey, oh, you know what? we went to the museum first, straight away. Then we went to the house. So that part was a little bit reversed, but forgive me, right? We go and drop off at the front door. And so all the boys are here. And, I go and do what I got to do. I take my team. We go up to the door. I got the tickets for the scan on my phone and everything like that. And we get in the museum. I tell these fellas, look, guys, be respectful. Act like you got some sense. Have some home training. Take in the history. We're not rushing through this thing. We want to see as much as we can, and then, we'll move on. But hopefully you guys just appreciate what your forefathers and people before you have done, so that we can enjoy the freedoms and the privileges that we do now. So, okay, we get in there and we start to walk around. I'm looking at these fellas and I'm just like, why are your pants hanging so far off your cheeks? It was a little bit embarrassing because I'm like, man, it's all types of people here. And there's a time for everything. There's a time to dress the way you want to dress and be hood, whatever. I mean, that's your thing. But again, you got to be able to adapt to the environment. And there was no adapting going on for many of these guys. And I'm like, okay, man, they're not used to this type of thing. So let's have a little mercy. Let's have a little mercy. But it was so irritating just seeing it, because I'm like, man, y'all love falling into the stereotypes about other people, don't you? Like, y'all just fully embrace it, hug it, and tongue kiss it, like it's something to be proud of, And I'm just like, come on, man, have a little bit of class, have a little bit of respect. One of the boys, we walking around in the place, he says, this place is boring. There's nothing to do. And I'm like, what did you expect to be doing in here? You ever been to a museum before? You know what they do at museums? They have exhibits. You go to the exhibits and you read and you listen and you watch. And you just observe and take in information and you learn. It's an active learning experience. But this guy, acting like a real boob. So he's just trying to get into mischief and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I got to keep my eye on this guy. And that would prove necessary later on once we got to the house. But we're walking around, and, next thing you know, I'm telling the guys to stay together. Next thing you know, we got splinter cells of groups of our guys just roaming around doing what they're going to do. Now, given nobody got into any real trouble, and overall, things went well. But it really just kind of shined a light on how important it is to expose your children to things in life. Get them out of their neighborhood and out of the norm. Get them out of the places that they're used to, because it's just so much more to life than that. You know what I mean? It's like when for example, well, nope, that's not a good example. But either way, I couldn't be too mad at these guys because this was their first time being in a place like this. It was a new experience, and they were taking it in the way they knew to take it in. And sometimes you need more than one opportunity to appreciate a thing, So I imagine as they continue to grow up, we may go back. I think we want to go back because, again, we couldn't see everything. So it's definitely worth a second trip. But some guys really got a lot out of it. It really changed their perspective, and those are the moments that you really want to see. Like, it was this one kid. I was walking, just behind the group, making sure everything was cool. And then one boy, he came up to me. He started basically just walking with me, and he was just looking around like, man, this is pretty crazy. Like, all the stuff that they went through, and he was just taking it in and like really getting the experience, like really taking in the experience. The place is beautiful, the way it's laid out, and they have all the different floors. So I think in the bottom you start off like in the shipped holds and stuff like that, and you kind of work your way up to modern day America and just all the accomplishments that have happened throughout the years and everything. But again, it's so vast, so much to see. It's just like, it's pretty amazing. And I'm just hoping that we can get back up in there with the boys. One thing that I kind of like, when I saw how many other guys were not really paying attention and they were busy just joking and trying to be mischievous and stuff, I really felt like it should have been a merit-based trip. Like, not just anybody would want to go, you can go. But, we have things that we have to do as a mentorship team. There's data we have to gather. So we try to make sure, we got to make sure these guys, their grades are improving. We're monitoring behaviors. We're having conversations and just seeing how they're growing and developing throughout the program. And some of them are not developing as fast, if at all, compared to their peers. And I think when it comes to big trips like this, especially when there's expense involved and things like that, you give it to those who have earned the right to participate. Because in life, you got to earn what you get. Very few things are given to you. And I felt like that was a missed opportunity for a lesson that we could have taught these guys. Like, hey, if you want to enjoy the trips and the food and the experiences, you have to do your part. We show up for you as mentors and make sure you are getting what you need from us. But it's a reciprocal thing. We need to have you doing what you need to do as well. But now we'll fast forward to the Wizards game. So as a part of the Wizards outing, we were given VIP passes for the Wizards Lounge, and the lounge, they fed us unlimited drinks and stuff like that. And, of course, the mentors, we weren't drinking anything alcoholic. It was all available to us as much as we wanted. But of course, we're driving these boys around and stuff. We're not going to drink anything alcoholic, but they fed us. We could get as much water, juice, soda, whatever we wanted. And they treated us really, really well. And most people will never experience that level of attentiveness by the organization. And then we're sitting in the arena. We got our seats. And this is my first time going to a pro game as well. So I'm just taking it all in. I'm just like, wow. Even as a grown man, as a mentor, I'm being exposed to new things. And it's opening my mind up to what I can do and the experiences I can have if I want to give these experiences to my own children and stuff like that. And so I'm just looking down at the court. I'm seeing everything that happens during like commercial time. They shooting the ball for money. They got different organizations coming out on the court and everything, doing little mini games and stuff during the commercial time. The court is not very big the way it looks on TV. It's just a regular court, and they got this big jumbotron in front of you. So it's like, even though our seats were like not very low, pretty high actually, you didn't miss anything. So it was a good experience. We go into the VIP lounge, and now when I say VIP lounge, it wasn't like a VIP suite or anything like that the like owners and stuff would have, but we were set apart and treated beyond average. It was an experience, and that was good. Another thing that we got to do was the boys, they were able to just kind of roam around and just take in the whole experience, and at the end of the game, we actually got to go down on the court and shoot free throws. That was a cool experience. I got pictures of the boys doing these things. And the crazy thing is, at the center, at our virtual learning center, we have a court. We have a basketball goal set up, and they're always in there playing basketball. Whenever they get a free minute, they're always shooting around, playing games and stuff like that. We get out there on the NBA court. Not one of these 35 boys made that shot. And I'm like, y'all talk so much trash, like y'all so good when we back home. And then y'all get out here and you just shooting free throws and you can't make it. I'm like, oh my. But we did that. Then we got back on the road and everything, came home. It was a pretty good experience overall. It's always going to be outliers. Everything's not going to go perfectly. One thing that really surprised me, I drove back. One thing that surprised me was Big Blue did not let us down. I didn't hear any noises on the way back or anything. And then I looked at the odometer, and as old as this vehicle looks, this thing only has 77,000 miles on it. I was like, wow. I really judged this book by its cover, but it had brand new tires. It was good to go. You know what I mean? On the way back, no crazy wind. I'm going as fast as I need to go, 70s and beyond, whatever it is, I'm able to do it, and we get home safely. And overall, it was a great trip. I took pictures of the big house that we stayed in, and that was the other thing. And looking at the boys' faces as we went around touring the place, they were just like the wonder in their eyes, the wonder on their faces, just the awe that they had seeing this big place. They'd never seen anything like this before. And I heard several of the boys saying, I gotta buy my mama a house. I gotta buy my mama a house. And it gave an opportunity to sow those seeds of, look, you can have this too if you work hard and do what you need to do. While you're at a young age, to become aware of pathways to get you to various paths to success. You can do what you want to do, like don't let anybody make you adopt a victimhood mentality. Don't go out here with this sense of entitlement, like somebody owes you something. Nobody owes you anything. You're going to go out here, you're going to work hard, and you're going to make a way for yourself, And just a recent revelation, I guess, that kind of came to me was just the power of creativity. Just to be completely honest, your ability to create wealth is only capped by your own creativity. At least that's the way I've adopted this thought of, man, as long as I can be creative, I can create something to put out there to help people. Present value, you receive value in return. That's all money is. Money is a value medium. And if you present value, I will gladly exchange my value, money, with your value, whatever it is you produce and have been creative enough to put out there. So I appreciate you all listening to this story. I don't know how good of a storyteller I am. I don't even know if that was very interesting for you, but hopefully it was interesting enough that you watched to the end, and the goal is to make you fall asleep, honestly. So did you fall asleep? If so, you have a good sleep. If not, then you're watching at this point, I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We're almost at 10K. We're less than 100 people away from 10K, so I'm excited about this thing. I believe great things are coming for the channel, and I got something special up my sleeves that I'm working on. I appreciate you all so much. I've been busy, and my posting schedule has been off, but hey, we back at it. I'm not going anywhere. So much love to each and every one of you. Welcome to the Low Growl Legion for all the new subscribers, and I appreciate your interaction and everything. Onward to 10K and beyond. I'll talk with you next time.